get past it.
All right, let's see.
I'll go ahead and start
Here,
then. Yeah,
please do. Thank you.
yeah. And hopefully she will be able to
Yeah,
pop in.
yeah.
All right, I call this meeting to order. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Women of Influence Toastmasters. I would like to welcome our guest, and would you
Mickey.
just share your name again, please? And you're on mute. Yeah. Anyway, welcome.
I'm Mickey Hunachuk.
Nikki, it's nice to have you. Thank you. And I understand this is your second visit, so thank you for coming back. And to lead us off, let's begin with our today's inspiration and pledge. I'm looking to see, is Leslie here today? Leslie, oh, I
Yes,
see.
I am.
Leslie, go ahead if you would, please.
Thank you so much. And I apologize. I'm having a bit of video trouble. I can't figure it out. So I will continue to work on that, but I'll just give you my inspiration this morning. I love our theme today. Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. I was reminded of a quote by William Butler Yeats. Happiness is neither virtue nor pleasure, nor this thing nor that, but simply growth. We are happy when we are growing. I just thought that was a perfect match for today's theme. I would like to invite you all to stand up and join me in the pledge. Michelle, thank you for having the flag up. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much, Terry.
And thank you, Leslie. It's always a challenge when we have technology issues, and we just do our best to work through them. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce our Toastmaster of the day. And Michelle, it looks like you will be filling in as Toastmaster.
No, I am Toastmaster.
You are Toastmaster. Okay, this is different than the, than the agenda. So we will all make that change. Wonderful. Thank you. And the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Terry. Welcome, members and guests, to Women of Influence Toastmasters today. It's my honor and privilege, and it's actually one of my very, very favorite roles is Toastmaster. You're kind of MC for the day, and it's so much fun to interact with everybody. I picked this theme today. I ran upon it looking for a theme. I wanted something that would get our wheels and cogs going and see how we might look at things in our life. Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. Guys, one of the very first things that popped into my head visually with this is Wizard of Oz. Dorothy stood there at the beginning of this little bitty peak in the yellow brick road, and she followed it, assuming that she was just going to get to the wizard and get home, and everything was going to be peachy keen, and she'd be having apple pie with Auntie Em that night. That didn't happen. That did not happen. She did find along the way, through a very difficult road, she met some amazing friends. She found that she was stronger than she thought. She found that she actually had things pretty good where she was. All of this to say that at the end of that, she had a beautiful destination with a beautiful journey, although she hit some bumps along the way. That was my vision when I found this theme. That being said, we have a team that helps run this meeting, and it looks like Dr. Alice Ann is connecting, so we'll be glad to have her here. Our general evaluator will introduce her team. So Deanne, I bring you up, please, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. So I absolutely love your theme as well, the difficult roads to a beautiful destination. I often think of our meeting as a destination. We have a beginning, we have a middle, and we have an end. And in order to get to the very beautiful destination, we need a team of people. And so, with that said, the team of people that support me in this general evaluation of our meeting, we start off with our grammarian, which is Brenda for today. Brenda, can you tell us a little bit about your role?
Yes, thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. As grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listen really carefully to the language that they use, to make note of improper language use, as well as any great words, sayings, or thoughts. Also, as grammarian, I get to introduce the word of the day, and the word that I chose for today is exultant. I will put that in the chat. It was first known use was in 1953, and the definition is filled with or expressing great joy or triumph. So we use looking for everybody to use the word of the day as many times as we can, and I will make note of that and see who uses it the most. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Brenda. Exultant, what a beautiful word as we travel to a beautiful destination in our meeting. Linda, can you tell us a little bit about the role as a timer today?
Yes, thank you, Madam General Evaluator. As your timer today, I am going to be timing the speeches, the evaluations, and the table topics. You know, when you're sitting in the audience and the speaker has a few minutes to speak, maybe many minutes to speak, we're always exultant when they stay on time. That's what we learn here in Toastmasters, is how to stay on time. I love this aspect of Toastmasters because we get to respect our audience. Today, I'll be timing the evaluator, the speaker, and table topics at the minimum time. The speaker will receive the green. At halfway between minimum and maximum, they will receive the yellow. When they have come to the end of their time lot, say 7 minutes, they will get the red. They have 30 seconds to wrap it up, and I will give a timer's report at the end. And the person, so here in our group, we do judge, we do vote on best table topics speaker of the day. The table topic speaker must be in time. They have to speak from 1 to 2 minutes. They have to speak for 60 seconds, right? And then they can go no longer than 2 minutes, 30 seconds. And that's my job, is to keep track of which table topics person is in time so that we can vote on them. I return control of the meeting to our general evaluator.
Thank you very much, Linda. And thank you for always explaining your role very interestingly. You do it differently. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And now we'll hand the baton over to our speech evaluator, Angie.
Hello, and thank you for that. I am the speech evaluator today. I have the evaluation form here for Alice Ann's speech. She's speaking on a project which is building a social media presence. And so I'll be curious to hear what she has to say. There are some goals for her speech that are established in the evaluation form, so I'll be listening for those and give her some ideas on what she excelled at, areas that she may want to work on, and some ideas, hopefully, to challenge herself. And that is my role today. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Angie. And as stated earlier, I am your general evaluator. So at the conclusion of the reports of all the different roles, I will let you know how we landed in our destination. Okay? So back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Deanne, for your team. We are honored and privileged to have Dr. Alice Ann Crump on with us. She did mention that her internet's a little unstable, so Alice Ann, we will bear with you and pray with you that it holds through till the end of that 7 minutes. Her project title is Pod Zoom for those who want to be in the room. Alice Ann Crump is a charter member of the Women of Influence Toastmasters Club. She's diligently working on becoming a better speaker. Today, she will be speaking from the Motivational Strategies Path, level 4, and it'll be a 5 to 7 minute speech, Building a Social Presence. Welcome to Selah Moment with Alice Ann, elevating inspiration with the power of Pod Zoom. We are thrilled to announce that Selah Moment with Alice Ann has undergone a remarkable transformation, embracing the revolutionary concept of Pod Zoom. Now you have the incredible opportunity to be virtually present in the room as we dive into captivating and inspirational Selah moments. Alice Ann?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. It has been an amazing journey. Selah Moments with Alice Ann. Selah is a Hebrew word which means to stop and calmly think about that. When I created the podcast, incidentally, it was a Toastmaster Pathway project. January the 1st, 2021. I wanted to have a moment that I thought about some things that God has showed me, things that I felt in my spirit, even the things that I read for reading the Word. It has been an amazing journey, one that I thought I would share with the whole world. And today, I have a whopping 6 followers. But the podcast has been downloaded over 2,000 times. Someone is listening. I wanted to create a present. So I asked those that have been listening, what can I do? And they suggested they wanted to be in the room. How can I conclude having a podcast and include the listener? Now I have a podcast with listeners who are in the room. Now, mind you, I still record the podcast, but I don't record the conversation after, because I wanted to give those who was in the room privacy. They can discuss whatever they wanted to discuss. They can share with what they wanted to share. How would I make this a presence on social media? I started by every once in a while sprinkling some Selah Moment thoughts on Facebook. I put a flyer on Facebook. I have a group of people who I send a flyer to or a reminder every week. And some days I have 6, 7. I've had up to 15 people in the room with lively conversations based on whatever the Selah Moment was for the week. It has been interesting, but when I look at my followers, I still only have 6 followers. I am trying to grow or create. I have people on Facebook who respond to whatever my topic is, and I invite them to come. I know eventually it will catch on because it's still being downloaded. I have many plays. I used to have TalkShoe.com where people can come in and I will send them a link and they'll just join in. I've had followers, I had viewers who would come in. I was like, guest. Linda is a frequent guest. I like when she comes. She has great insight. But other members talk about things that they never heard of or they never thought about before. But I don't know exactly how to create this presence in social media, because I don't do social media that often, except to publicize Selah Moments with Alice Ann. But I am enjoying those that come to visit, those that text me and say, send me the link. I missed the Selah moment. Send that to me every morning or every Saturday morning. I get a wonderful review. Oh my goodness, the Selah moment was amazing. I don't know what to do exactly, but I invite people to come and share with me. And because I'm at my neighbor's house, I cannot put the link in the chat, but I will send it to the group. Come and listen. We have some amazing conversation after our presentation. I am absolutely amazed at the things that go on in the room. We talk about things in the room. Now, what I do outside of being in the room, every morning I make a post during rush hour when I see people on the bus going through their social media podcast. I also post at lunchtime, and I post during the rush hour going home. Somebody is looking, and someone is responding to the text that I leave, the messages that I leave. I might need some help in growing this podcast so that I will have followers. I know I have listeners, but I don't have followers. Maybe someone can help me get some followers, because I do have some listeners. Deanne listens every once in a while, and I'll be elated to talk about some of the things that we talk about in this podcast. Selah Moments with Alice Ann. Those moments that I like to think are epiphanies on demand. They give us those opportunities to take the moment, to stop and calmly think about, to stop and connect with God. Thank you for listening to Selah Moments with Alice Ann, as every Friday night, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. I'll be looking for you in the room. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Alice Ann. I appreciate that. And you probably have more followers that aren't wanting to make themselves visible than you know. And you always have inspirational words. Now it is going to be time. Terry, can you take our picture, or would you like somebody to do that for you, which we could do that as well?
I'll be happy to take that.
Perfect.
And,
Thank you.
So Mickey, just to let you know, this is for just documentation of who was at the meeting, and we can look back and just see who was here at any given time. So anyone who is not on screen who would like to be, go ahead and come on screen. And if you are on screen and don't want to be, you can just close down your photo. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and once more, just to make sure that one came out. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Michelle, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Our lovely Alice Ann also is our table topics master today. So Alice Ann, I will pass this back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so very, very much. Okay, let's see what we can do at table topic. How many do we have time for? Okay, I have 10 questions, numbers 1 to 10, and I cannot see who's in the room. Or I'm going to ask for volunteers. I cannot see who's in the room. I have questions from 1 to 10.
Alice Ann, I'll take one.
All right. Give me a number.
Number 7.
Number 7. Who would you like to spend more time with? Who would you like to spend more time with?
Thank you for that question. It's an interesting time to actually ask that. I'm giving a speech this weekend that's really focusing on my self-discovery. And while I've been thinking through this process, I have had a lot of raw emotions come up that I didn't really know were sitting on my shoulder waiting to pop up at a random time. But through that process, I've recognized that the relationship that I have with my mom has blossomed so beautifully, and not even accidentally, but intentionally. But we're miles apart. My mom's closer to you, Alisanne, than she is to me. She's over in Illinois. So there's times that I need a mom hug because I'm so used to being a rock for so many people. And sometimes you just need that unconditional, judgment-free hug that only a mama can give. And I know it because I give it to my kids. So if I had more time to spend with my mom, which I can, we have visits coming up, I would take the time to get to know her, not my mom, but get to know Misty, Melody Adon Wormsley, and learn a little bit more about her story and her life. Because I've noticed that as I've gone through this journey of myself of being a mom, being a wife, that there are so many things that she has experienced that I've always thought that I didn't want to be like her because of who I thought she was. So I honestly think that taking the time to get to know her as a person would just be a beautiful experience and something that would add some closure to both of us. So my mom is definitely the person that I would like to spend more time with, but from a friendship point of view versus a mother-daughter point of view, just to get to know her a little bit better. Thank you so much for the question.
That is amazing. To think of the person right off the back. Then you have to give it a second thought. I know who I want to spend time with. My mom. Great. And I'm glad that you're going to have a visit soon and you can get all the mommy hugs that you need. Amazing. And I'm excited about those conversations that you will have as well. Who else is in the room?
I would love to take one, Alisanne, if you can hear me well.
Which number would you like?
Let's go for 5.
Question number 5 is, what's one daily habit that you can incorporate in your life that will make the biggest, most positive influence on you?
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Alisanne. I have several daily habits that I keep wanting to reinstitute that will have the greatest positive influence on me, and I think could make me truly exultant. There are trying to choose one as part of my challenge. I would very much like to be journaling every day, and I have in fact created some journals for me with specific prompts that focus on my life's work of appreciative intelligence and also on building on lessons learned from my past and present. Also on understanding more about myself and changes that I want to make. I also would like to spend more time connecting with God as I perceive God, and that is in prayer, meditation, and scripture study. So all of those things together, and spending more time with my sweetheart husband, some daily, honest to goodness time with my sweetheart husband, I think would be fantastic. You say one daily habit, there are several I want to implement. I need to choose one and get that going so that I can have it stack. and then I'll be more exultant every day. Thank you for the opportunity to answer that question, Reverend Dr. Allison. Back to you.
Thank you so very, very much. Yeah, that would be hard to do, to narrow it down to one. And you seem like you can bind them all into one. That is great. That is great. Thank you so very much. Okay, anyone else?
Allison, this is Terry. I'd be willing to go.
All right, we have 1 to 10, not 5 and not 7.
Okay. How about number 9?
Number 9 is, where do you want to be in 3 months' time? Where do you want to be in 3 months' time?
Thank you for that question. In 3 months' time, I want to be in a place fairly similar to where I am right now. I'm pretty happy with the life that I'm creating. It's been a balance between being at home and traveling, seeing friends, and spending time with my husband. And it's feeling good. And so I think I want to be celebrating that, feeling exalted that I'm continuing to be where I want to be. We have friends visiting with us right now from the DC metro area. They're staying with us this week. And just a couple of weeks ago, when we traveled cross country, actually coast to coast to coast, we saw them. So that was enjoyable. And then we're doing a combination of outside things, bicycle riding, as well as inside things. Just enjoying each other's company. So in 3 months, pretty much where I am now. Thank you. And back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you. It is amazing to be at a place of contentment. In whatever state we're in, learn how to be content. And you seem to be very content with your life right now. Thank you for sharing. And now back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Allison. We actually have time for one more if you want to, if anybody wants to
Sure.
volunteer to do that.
Anybody else want to go? Have some more questions. Anyone else would like to go?
I'll take one.
Oh, all right.
Okay, this is Leslie.
Hi, Leslie. What number would you like?
3.
Question number 3. What is one energy zapper that you would like to get rid of? One energy zapper that you would like to get rid of?
An energy zapper that I would love to get rid of and work very diligently to move out of my space is negative energy people, low vibration people, people that want to gossip, people that want to talk negatively, that can find the wrong with everything around them. I just don't have time for that in my life. And it is exhausting for me to be around that sort of activity or discussion. And I'm struggling to get through my own day. I don't have time for you to be draining me. So I have learned to politely extricate myself out of sort of situations and away from people. And I love looking at my phone and going, oh dear, I have a meeting. I'm so sorry. I'd love to catch up with you later. Anything I have to do to protect my own energy, my own peace, my own thoughts. If I can get so derailed and disrupted through the day, it can throw off my whole day if I allow myself to indulge in somebody else's criticism or frustrations. So not that we all don't have it, and sometimes we need to have. I learned it from one of my colleagues in Europe. They call it instead of fussing, they say, we're having a moan. We're just going to get together. We're going to have a quick moan, a quick chat about it. We're going to find a solution and we're going to depart. I find that departing on that sort of, with that energy of like, we had a little quick moan about it and we found a solution. We're going to do something different next time. That changes it. So you leave it a more positive instead of just fussing and leaving with that energy. So that's definitely something that I will be continuing to work on in my life. Thank you so much for asking.
Thank you for sharing. Need a more. Need a more. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Now back to you, Madam.
Thank you so much, Alice-Ann, and everyone who participated in Table Topics. Brenda, is it too early to call for the poll for speakers? We can certainly give you a minute. Give you a minute? All right. I'm going to jump to our general evaluator who will start her part of the meeting. Deanne.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. With that said, we will take a few minutes and we are going to pass it over to Angie to give the speech evaluation. Is that okay, Angie? Are you ready for that? Okay. You have the floor, Angie.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, just wrapping up my evaluation. So Alice-Ann, the speech that she gave, the evaluation form indicates some of the things that she was to be working toward with this speech. And it was tying to social media, her experience establishing and enhancing her social media presence. And in this case, I would say her podcast presence, and talking about how choosing this version of social media and how it has been a part of her personal development. I think that all of the elements of the purpose and the notes that I'm reviewing were indicated in her speech today. So the one thing I think that she especially excelled at is her ability to share her experience and storytell about this journey creating this podcast, from developing the name, the idea, the purpose, the intent of the podcast, and then this most recent, it sounds like a recent tweaking of adding, asking first of all for feedback from her listeners, but then adding people in the room with the subsequent conversation. So she was really good at telling us and creating that picture in our mind of that whole process and her podcast and how that looks. What I think I had a little bit hard time understanding what the goal of the speech was. So what she may wish to work on is to but to clarify what's the purpose of this speech. Was it to share the process that you went through, which was asking for feedback, learning that people wanted to be in the room, and then inviting people to be in the room for that conversation? Or was it perhaps to show how difficult it can be to, first of all, create a podcast and to obtain followers, not just listeners, and asking for help? Or was it something else altogether? Was there, I thought I heard you ask for help. Sorry. And so if part of the speech was to ask for help, I feel like that could have been highlighted a little bit more. And that I didn't come up with anything to challenge yourself with. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. I think just tying back to what you may wish to work on is defining what the purpose of the speech is, and then being a little more clear on that call to action, or to, let us know what it is that we can do to help you. If there's a difficulty in the podcast, if you need that help, I guess be a little more clear with that. But thank you for that. There you go. And back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Angie. With that said, Brenda, are you ready to take the poll as a speaker of the day? Okay. And since you are the grammarian, you can just go from the poll for speaker today and then go right into your grammarian report. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I got the poll done. Looks like I got the results. That's great. So my grammarian report. The word of the day was used by Linda once, Catherine twice, and Terry once. So thank you for using the word of the day. I didn't find too many improper filler words. Linda had a so, Deanne had an and I had lots of so's. As far as sayings or thoughts or quotes that I liked, there's a few of them. Thank you so much, Dr. Alice Ann, for sharing your podcast. It sounds wonderful. So thank you for sharing that with us and letting us know that exists. And I love the thought of taking the opportunity to stop and think about, to calmly stop and think about things. That's amazing. I love Erica's mom hug. We all definitely need that. And I love giving that also to my children and hoping they feel the same way about mom hugs that I do. Also, Dr. Catherine, I love you use the word appreciative intelligence. I love that. I hadn't heard that before. Other than that, looks great. And back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Brenda. And Linda, will you give us our timer report?
Certainly. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Alice Ann was in time 6 minutes, 31 seconds. She asked for 5 to 7. All table topic speakers were in time under that 2-minute mark, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. So Erica, 1 minute, 51 seconds. Dr. Catherine, 1 minute, 59 seconds. Terry, 1 minute, 34 seconds. Leslie, 1 minute, 48. All well done. Angie, I apologize. Angie, I apologize. I did not set the timer. I believe that you were in time, probably right around 2 minutes, 30 seconds. You were definitely not over time and you were definitely not under time. So thank you. You were in time.
Thank you
And
very
now
much.
returning control of the meeting back to our general evaluator.
Yes, thank you, Linda. Sorry for jumping the gun there. I'm so excited. And for my general evaluation report, well, we're just about at a beautiful destination because we haven't adjourned yet, but we have done an amazing job today. We started on time. We had all our roles filled when we started, and we have had, for the second time in a row, an honored guest. Thank you, Mickey, for joining us again. Please, at the very end of the meeting, let us know how you think we did, as well as share any sort of contact information. I'd love to send some information over to you. So our theme was difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. I feel like every single speaker spoke towards that. Dr. Alice Ann had a phrase where she says that an epiphany on demand, which is an indication that we need to think of something, an aha moment that leads us to our future, right? And that's the destination. Erica, I absolutely love when Erica said a blooming relationship with my mom, which is indicating that it's getting better, it's growing, it's looking better. Terry, I'm telling you, you land that Photoshop every single time. You have been the best picture taker since I've been attending our meetings. But with that said, I just want to say that regardless of how we start, we always end off with a beautiful destination, a beautiful meeting. And that's a testament to the women of influence. We all do our part. And so with that said, in my opinion, we have had a stellar meeting. With that said, I'm going to pass it back over to Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Deanne. We have a tie for table topics. Erica and Leslie, you're all winners, but you tied, so you both get a pat on the back today. Good job, good job. That is our official meeting. I will be passing it over to Terry. Are you going to wrap us up there? I'll let you do that. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
I will be happy to. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. And Mickey, would you be so kind as to share just a couple of sentences about how you experienced this meeting today?
Well, you are an amazing group of ladies. I'm very impressed with how everyone addresses everyone by their title. I'm still getting used to the whole Toastmasters thing, but I think that's a very good quality because it recognizes not only the person, but gives a value to what they're doing. And I think that we all need that in life. It's a exemplary thing to do. This was very good, and people are good about thinking on their feet when they're doing the table topics. And anyway, you're a great group of people. Keep on keeping on.
Thank you so much. I'm very glad you could join us again. We certainly invite you to join as a member if you feel called to that. And I know that if you'll put your email in the chat, that our membership chair, Deanne, will be happy to reach out to you and just send you some information. Thank you for noting how we address one another. It does take a little bit to get used to, and we do respect one another in the roles that we take on and support one another too. And we shift roles almost every meeting so that we become more well-rounded and more adept at expressing ourselves spontaneously. And is there anything else that anyone has to share regarding the group? Anything that should be brought up today? Okay, I will just share that I just signed up to be Toastmaster next week. I've been gone for quite a while, and I'm glad to be back, and I will be happy to be Toastmaster. So please do sign up for roles. I love having the support, and I will get a theme chosen fairly shortly. Anything else? Catherine, Dr. Catherine.
I also just remembered two things. On August 3rd is the next opportunity for club officer training. It will be from 1 until 5 p.m. on Saturday, August 3rd. That is Pacific time zone. You don't have to be an officer to attend. I have not checked to confirm that all of our officers have been trained already, but we do want to have all of our officers trained sooner rather than later. We've had 2 rounds of training already. I believe that August 3rd is the final District 9 offered club officer training, and you can register for it at tmd9.org to get information. It will be over Zoom, and it's going to be fun because we try to do that. Also, the international conference, I believe, is August 16th. So if you want to, I believe that you can attend it virtually. I'm going to say look at the toastmasters.org website for information. And Linda, if you know more about that than I do, which is easy to believe, then I would love your input. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I very much appreciate those announcements. And because I was traveling during the last two, I will be signing up for the Saturday, August 3rd. Would love to have any officers or non-officers join me because everyone is always welcome.
I like
I'm
to
just-
call you Officer Curious.
Yeah,
Not officer.
absolutely. Yeah. Okay, and with that, it is 45 after the hour, and I now end this meeting. Anyone is welcome to stay on after we conclude here for just the informal after party for any questions that you'd like. Thank you very much.